Imagine, for a moment, the quietest room you have ever known. Not a room of mere silence, but one of profound stillness, where the air itself seems to hold its breath and the dust motes hang suspended in time, too afraid to dance in the slivers of light. This is the inner sanctum of your mind before the storm. It is a pristine, potential space, a blank canvas upon which the universe has yet to make its first mark. And then, a whisper. It is not a sound heard with the ear, but a vibration, felt in the very architecture of your being. It begins as a single, stray thought, a pebble dropped into the still pond of your consciousness. But this pebble is not inert. It is a seed, and it germinates not into a tree, but into a labyrinth. The whisper becomes a chorus, a cacophony of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios, weaving a narrative so compelling, so utterly real, that your body has no choice but to believe it. Your heart becomes a frantic drum against your ribs, your breath a shallow, hurried thing, a physiological rebellion based entirely on a fiction authored by a terrified ghost in the machine. This is anxiety, not as a clinical diagnosis alone, but as a metaphysical event. A universe, entire and horrifying, being born from a single, misaligned thought. We have all become cartographers of these internal infernos, meticulously mapping the territories of our own dread. We learn the trigger points, the fault lines, the shadowy corners where the monsters we've sculpted from our own neural clay like to hide. We speak of managing anxiety, of coping with it, of wrestling it into a temporary submission through force of will or chemical intervention. We treat it as an invader, a foreign agent that has breached our borders, and we arm ourselves for a perpetual war on the home front of our own psyche. But what if this entire framework is a magnificent, tragic misunderstanding? What if anxiety is not an invader to be fought, but a language to be learned, a distorted, desperate, and archaic dialect of a deeper self trying to communicate a truth we have forgotten how to hear? This masterclass is an invitation to step back from the map and to observe the hand that draws it. This is not merely about talking yourself out of anxiety as one might argue with a stubborn opponent. This is an excavation, a deep, philosophical dive into the very source code of your perceived reality. We are going to explore the art and science of cognitive reframing, not as a simple self-help technique, but as the most profound act of alchemy a human being can undertake, the transformation of leaden, fear-based narratives into the gold of empowered understanding. It is the process of realizing that the whispers in the quiet room are not prophecies, but possibilities, that the labyrinth is not a prison, but a puzzle you designed yourself, and therefore you hold the key to its center and its exit simultaneously. Think of your mind not as a static entity, but as a vast, cosmic cinema. For your entire life, you have been sitting in the audience, gripped by a horror movie projected onto the screen of your awareness, feeling every jolt of fear, every clutch of suspense, as if it were your undeniable reality. Cognitive reframing is the courageous act of standing up, turning around, and walking up to the projection booth. It is the startling, life-altering moment when you discover that there is no sophisticated film reel, no preordained destiny playing out. There is only you, manning a complex console of lenses and lights, and you have been the one feeding the images onto the screen all along. The monsters, the suspense, the terrifying score, it all originates from this single, quiet room. This masterclass is your guided tour to that projection booth. It is about learning the controls, understanding how a slight change in the lens of perception can turn a horror into a hero's journey, a tragedy into a romance, a nail-biting thriller into a serene documentary. The raw footage of life does not change. The events remain the same. But the meaning, the color, the sound, the very experience of it, that is all under your direction. We are about to embark on a journey into the heart of a beautiful paradox, that to gain control, you must first relinquish the illusion of it. That to find solid ground, you must first be willing to deconstruct the very floor beneath your feet. This is not for the faint of heart. It is for the seekers, the architects, the individuals who suspect that their pain might be a doorway and their anxiety a misplaced key. It is for those ready to stop being a prisoner of their own mind and become, instead, the silent architect of their reality. The room is quiet. The first whisper is about to form. Will you listen to its old, fearful story, or will you, finally, lean in and begin to rewrite it?